A Silent Voice and Your Name are two of my favorite animated movies ever. Ever since their initial release in 2016, they have become a package deal of sorts. That's why every time you see a reaction video, review, or even a video essay on one movie, the comment section is full of people recommending the other. It has led to both movies being paired together, so much so that if a channel has a video on one, you can safely bet that they probably have a video on the other as well. This has also led to many comparisons being made between the two, and as you can tell, this is one of them. Let's get started. The story for A Silent Voice, also known as The Shape of Voice, is pretty simple yet effective. The movie follows Shoya Ishida as he tries to make amends by befriending Shoko Nishimiya, a deaf girl he once bullied. As children, Ishida and his classmates tormented Nishimiya by throwing out her hearing aids, physically hurting her, and isolating anyone who tried to befriend her. The bullying became so severe that she had to transfer schools. After Nishimiya transfers, Ishida becomes a social outcast and faces relentless bullying, much like he inflicted on her. His friends turn against him, placing all the blame on him despite their own involvement. It gets so bad that even as an adult, he cannot recover from it and goes as far as to almost committing suicide. The story explores regret, self-hatred, and redemption. Ishida's journey is, in my opinion, one of the best and most compelling redemption arcs ever, as he must redeem himself not just in the eyes of the audience, but to himself as well. Despite what the posters might suggest, this isn't a romance. A Silent Voice is a heavy, character-focused drama tackling serious topics. It's about two individuals learning to love themselves through each other. For a movie that's constantly paired with it, the story for Your Name could not be any different. Your Name follows two teenagers, Taki and Mitsuha, who wake up one morning to find out that they have swapped bodies. At first, it's pretty fun seeing them trying to deal with this chaotic situation as they navigate each other's school and work lives. Things start to get more serious, however, as they develop feelings for each other. But just when you think it's a rather simple fantasy romance, they throw a twist in the middle where it's revealed that they have been living and interacting with each other through different timelines. In Taki's timeline, Mitsuha and her entire village were destroyed by a comet 3 years ago. In Mitsuha's timeline, she is still anticipating the comet's arrival. What begins as a quirky romance shifts into a high-stakes drama where the characters must use their unique connection to prevent a catastrophe before it's too late. This genre-blending story culminates in a thrilling race against time, where Taki and Mitsuha must prevent large-scale destruction from taking place, all the while grappling with how they feel about each other. Both movies are very different from each other in tone and setting. A Silent Voice is a small-scale, introspective drama where the characters are confined to a single city, while in Your Name, two teenagers have to commit everything from terrorism to property damage in order to save an entire village. One movie is a slice-of-life drama, while the other is a blend of romance, fantasy, and adventure. I love the intimate personal story that A Silent Voice has, but at the same time, I've never witnessed a story quite like Your Name either. I was at the edge of my seat for the second half of both movies as the stakes kept getting higher and higher. At the end of the day, however, while I really appreciate the storytelling progression of A Silent Voice as it takes us on a journey of redemption and self-love, Your Name's story is more original and manages to combine different genres to create the kind of large-scale, spectacle-heavy experience that I honestly never expected from what is basically a 2D cartoon. It's a very close call for me because I really love the incredible execution of the otherwise basic and even generic premise in A Silent Voice. But overall, I have to give the win to Your Name for its unique story and thrilling execution. Winner, Your Name. Given that A Silent Voice is a rather heavy character drama, they have absolutely nailed it in this department. Characters like Shoya Ishida and Shoko Nishimiya are among the most well-crafted characters in all of fiction. Each character goes through a profound personal journey. Both of them are teenagers who hate themselves, but for different reasons. Ishida hates himself for being a bully to an innocent deaf girl, causing her lots of physical and emotional harm, which then contributes to her severe PTSD. While he is far from being the only person to bully her, he still played a significant part in it. After getting bullied himself and being isolated from the rest of the class, he begins to understand the pain he caused Nishimiya, which leads to him wanting to help Nishimiya any way he can, be it reuniting her with old classmates, learning sign language so he could better communicate with her, supporting her little sister during her low moments, or even just standing with her at their favorite bridge where they feed the fishes. To Ishida, all these small gestures are his way of making her feel normal again, to show everyone that he has changed, to welcome her and her condition with the compassion he lacked in the past. As for Nishimiya herself, her character is a bit more subtle, yet just as compelling. You see, since she and her family kept going through all this trouble because of her condition, she blamed herself for their issues. It's a lot more expanded upon in the manga, where her own father abandons her and her mother because of her condition. Both in the movie and the manga, she keeps apologizing for everything even though she is really the victim. Nishimiya truly believes that if she didn't have her disability, or if she simply didn't exist, the people around her would be happier instead of constantly having to adjust to her. She sees herself as a burden to everyone she comes across. In the second half of the movie, Ishida unintentionally feeds into this self-hate, self-blaming thought process of her. When he loses all his friends right in front of her, he keeps pretending to be happy. It also doesn't help that his exaggerations are so fake and obvious. It makes her feel worse, thinking she is the reason he lost his friends again. This deepens her guilt, making her feel responsible for his isolation. Her self-hatred and low self-esteem results in her forcing a fake smile. Her upbeat exterior is merely a mask she wears to hide how she really feels. The mask eventually breaks when she attempts suicide. It's only after Ishida saves her that he too fully grasps the extent of her pain. The next meetings are much better and more productive as a result, since both can openly talk about their feelings and experiences. I personally loved the interaction at the bridge, but I do think the setting could have been better managed. Seeing her rush to that bridge made sense, but seeing Ishida waking up around the same time at what seems to be an eerily empty hospital, and for him to then go to that very bridge at the same time was a bit melodramatic. I mean, it's not impossible since they all live in a very small area within each other. The movie even showed the geography of all these places by having them be literally just a few walking distances away. Like how Nishimiya's school, the funeral home, and the hospital are very close by to the bridge. Yuzuru even uses this small distance to her advantage when she takes their pictures. Having said all that, even though they regularly meet upon that place and it has sentimental value, the whole situation felt a bit forced. Anyway, the character work in A Silent Voice is excellent when it comes to the leads. As for the leads in Your Name, it's not quite as good. Actually, it's not even close. Comparing the characters in A Silent Voice to the ones in Your Name is like comparing the Dark Knight trilogy to the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Taki and Mitsuha are fleshed out well enough to serve the story, and they do have amazing interactions, even if most of it was indirect. I especially love the scene where Taki pretends to write his name on Mitsuha's hand, but instead writes down that he loves her. Moments like these build the chemistry between them really well. All the while, the story is doing its best to keep them apart. It all makes the ending that much more satisfying when they finally reunite. That scene gave me goosebumps. Having said all that, there is just not enough for them to compete with the competition. Taki especially gets the smaller end of the stick here. At least we see what Mitsuha aspires to be. We see how she wants to experience new things, new places, and how her small town is in a way suffocating her, only for her to then do everything in her power to save that very town. One of the best scenes in the movie is a beautiful montage of Mitsuha's memories and how it shaped her life. We learn so much about her in the movie. Yet Taki, on the other hand, is given so little. We only know that he is into architecture, he has jobs, and that he develops feelings for Mitsuha later on. I would even go as far as to say that the side characters in A Silent Voice are far more layered than Taki. Characters like Miyako Sahara, Tomohiro Nagatsuka, Naoko Yuno, Yuzuru, and even both of their mothers have their own personalities, beliefs, and flaws. I plan on making a video essay separately on A Silent Voice, so I won't go into much detail over it here, but I think it's safe to say that when it comes to the characters, their journeys and interactions, Your Name doesn't hold a candle to its competition. Even though some of the side characters like Mitsuha's friends do serve the story well, especially in the second half of the movie, and they have their own individual personalities as well, but they're still not enough to give Your Name much of a helping hand in this category against the juggernaut like A Silent Voice. Winner, A Silent Voice. Both movies are visually stunning and very pleasing to look at. In Your Name, the animation is very detailed, down to the smallest objects in the background, all the way to the incredible sight that was the comet. The animation in A Silent Voice in comparison isn't anywhere near as detailed, but what it lacks in the technical aspects, it more than makes up for with its creativity. From memorable character designs to the amazing use of the blue crosses over characters' faces. I especially love the way the visuals represent a character's perspective. When Ishida opens up to make a friend, the cross drops. When he is in panic, everything shakes and becomes blurry, showcasing the turmoil that our character is feeling. Also, the small montages here and there give the film a dreamlike feeling. Your Name also has its own montages, like when Taki sees Mitsuha's memories, or when the movie speedruns how both of them are struggling in each other's bodies early on, from their friends to their jobs. It was a very fun, well-paced, energetic montage. This is a close call for me because I really love the visual styles of both movies. If I have to pick one, however, I'll go with A Silent Voice. As much as I love the hyper-detailed animation in Your Name, it's not something that's exclusive to just one movie. Movies like Weathering with You and Garden of Words, both made by the same director, also have equally stunning animation. Weathering with You, in particular, has amazing attention to detail, especially in the rainy scenes. A Silent Voice, on the other hand, has this one-of-a-kind style with all the excess on people's faces that organically fits within the character's journey. I don't remember ever watching a movie that used its medium quite like this one did. It just makes for a very unique experience that no other movie has. The style makes it stand out over other movies in a refreshing way. I know they got it from a manga, but the idea is still there and it's very captivating. Winner, A Silent Voice. Both movies are incredible and are, in my opinion, two of the best animated movies of all time. From breathtaking visuals and phenomenal soundtracks to very engaging storytelling, these are already classics of their genres, and deservingly so. But at the end of the day, there could only be one winner. It's time for the scores. Your Name gets an 8 out of 10, and A Silent Voice gets a 9.5 out of 10. A Silent Voice is one of my favorite movies ever, and while I like Your Name very much as well, this was never much of a fair comparison. I also plan on making a video essay on A Silent Voice, but it will take a few weeks at least, as I plan on making 3 more versus videos before shifting to primarily making video essays. I will still make a few versus videos here and there, but there will be very few and far in between. I just find making video essays more fun, but do let me know if you have any specific versus video in mind. That's it for now, everyone. Please subscribe if you're new, like and share if you've enjoyed my video, and comment if you have any recommendations. Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a great day. Bye.